Hello! Artificial Ascent is an Extreme Demon Mega Collab created by Viprin and verified by Combined. This level is known for two things: being a former top 1, and being the start of the best trilogy in the entire game. Anyways, sit back, relax, message your girlfriend on Discord that you want to break up with her because she's been cheating on you with 14 other e-boys, because it's time to play Artificial Ascent. Alright, hello everyone. Today we're going to be playing Artificial Ascent by Viprin and many more. This is one of the most popular mega collabs in Geometry Dash history, and it came out in 2.0 if I believe, so it's a pretty old level. Artificial Ascent is actually one of the extreme demons that I remember coming out. I remember this level being very unapproachable, and it made sense because I believe this level was top 1 around the time that it came out. Bloodbath was like pretty dang close to this, and nowadays Artificial Ascent and Bloodbath don't even compare in difficulty. So it's pretty crazy how hard this level is. Anyways, I'm gonna go into it and give you guys some tips and tricks on how to beat it. This beginning part of Artificial Ascent doesn't require any explanation. It's very easy and easy to sight read. Now, right away at 4%, you're in the drop. The first wave of the drop actually has two paths you can take. You can either go down like this, and in my opinion, that's much harder. If you wanted to though, most people I know do this, you can just hit like this, and then you can align yourself like that. It's a much easier timing than going down there. But yeah, just go up here and it's gonna probably be much easier. And these straight flies aren't too hard. You can get away with doing them in just one click. You don't even have to click for the straight fly. You can just hold after you hit the orbs and then release, which is nice. And right here, you just hit the blue orbs and hold. That's all you have to do for that. And then for this duel right here, you can get away with doing it in 3 clicks, being 1, 2, 3. And that's all you have to do. If you really wanted to, as soon as you enter this cube portal, you can just hold your input button and then skip this blue orb and then just skip the blue orbs like this. And then they just hit the last one. But what I actually did was I just hit all the blue orbs. I found that to be much easier, especially for the alignment of this ship part right after. This straight fly right here, you can do in 2 clicks, and that's all you should do. The second click has to be a pretty micro click though, or else you'll jump on the top as the cube and die. And then right here, you just hit one of the blue orbs and hold. That's a pretty confusing part, so I'm just explaining that. And then for the ship section, when you enter the ship section, you want to start focusing on the ship that's on the ground, like sliding right away, the one on the bottom. And then what you want to do is hit this orb in the middle, and then just click again as soon as you enter the gravity portal, just so you can adjust yourself for this timing, because this timing is the most confusing timing in the part. This whole Zobros' part is just really weird, but once you learn how to actually play it, it doesn't get too bad. And then right here, you're at Michigun's part. Michigun's part is very, very hard, and in my opinion, the first choke point of the level. This part is just really insane, and it's mostly because of these blue orb clicks right here. These blue orb clicks really suck. Once you do get consistent with Michigun, it doesn't really become that much of a problem. It's just really hard to get consistent with Michigun's part. This part is really difficult because when you're looking at it, it looks like you're looking at too much. Like, I'm playing it in slow-mo right now. Keep in mind, I'm only at half speed. This part is really hard to read, and that's just specifically because it looks like you don't know where you're going, and it's really hard to control. So make sure you practice Anthrax's ship a lot, or else you will die here a lot from 0, and it's a really shitty death to have from 0. Once you reach here, just don't click at all. Just let the auto take its way. Right here, what I did was I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and that aligned me for this. And that green orb right there is the worst click in the level, which is unfortunate. The way I found to make this click better was just to make sure you're timing everything here early, and then just get to the green orb early, and then it helps you actually with the timing. It makes it a lot more consistent. When you enter this cube portal, make sure you enter it going straight down, like no matter what, because if you like even accidentally go up, misaligns you for this pink orb, which is an unfortunate death. And then yeah, you want to click a bit before the jump indicator because the jump indicator is a bit off, and then you just click like on the side of the orb low, just so you can actually do this triple spike, because this triple spike is also pretty annoying. And then here's Loogiah's part. I really like Loogiah's part. Loogiah's part is one of the best parts of the level. I really enjoyed it. And then this UFO spam right here, you don't have to spam. If you spam, sometimes the transition becomes inconsistent. Just do 3 clicks like that, and then the transition's always consistent. And this ball part right here, I heard this ball part's pretty hard, but I never had a problem with it from 0. If you find it hard, just practice it a lot, but I never found this ball part hard. But a lot of people tell me it's hard, so I don't know what to believe. And then right here, the transition into the ship part, don't straight fly right away. I feel like that's inconsistent. If you want, you can just do 1 click like this, and then you can do another click upwards like this. So you do 1 and then 2, and then it's very consistent. And then this wave section, make sure you're not over clicking, because you'll you'll end up dying here, and this part builds nerves. So spamming under nerves is never really a good idea, so you just shouldn't do that. And then right here, this is the hardest section of the level in my opinion, this cube. It's not difficult, but it's the part that builds nerves a lot, so you're gonna be nervous when you get here, which is gonna suck because this part is pretty awkward and, you know, it's just really weird. All right, and here's Etzer's part, I believe. His part isn't terrible. You actually have to avoid that ball that's flying around in the foreground, but it's not that difficult to dodge. Right here, there's two options on how to avoid this ball right here. You could either go down right here, which is pretty risky, but it makes the entire rest of the part pretty easy. Or you could go up here, which is a bit more difficult, but it's more consistent. It's up to you how you want to dodge that. And right here, there's no hitboxes on this right here, so you can actually just go through here if you want. And I just recommend doing that because it looks funny and it makes the timing a lot easier. You just have to do an extra click on the wave if you do that. This part right here is very difficult. It's a weird cube like memory gimmick thingy, but it gets pretty consistent. Right here, don't overclick. You just want to click twice like this, and it becomes very consistent. And this robot part right here, it's really easy when you're learning it, but like you really want to practice this part. It feels so much harder from zero, even though it's not really that hard of a part. It just feels really hard when you play it from zero, and I died here quite a bit, and I don't know why. And then the ship section, you want to avoid the yellow orbs. If you really wanted to, you could skip those green orbs. It's really hard to do that, but it's really funny if you do. I didn't do it, but if you really wanted to, you could skip those green orbs. And then right here, when you transition back into a normal sized wave, just do it in 2 clicks. I didn't do it in 2 clicks, and I regret doing that. And then here's the final duel. It's not that bad. It really isn't. The worst duel is the last one, like the one after this one, because you can just focus on one of the icons for this one and you'll be fine. This duel right here is pretty bad. This is the one you'll die to the most because the alignment for it is kind of whack. So what I do is I just did these 2 clicks as I would normally, and then once I reach this section, I would stop holding like in general, and then I would just micro tap this green orb and then hold the blue orb, and then I would stop holding as soon as I hit the yellow orb, and then just click normally like that. That final duel section is really hard, but once you learn it, it doesn't become bad, but it can misalign you a lot from zero, and that sucks. Anyways, yeah, that was Artificial Ascent. I'm gonna save my opinion on the level for after the video, but I'm gonna just tell you right now if I recommend the level or not. I do recommend it if you're an XL completion player or you're an old generation player, because this is pretty good for an old generation level, and this isn't really an XL level, but it is 2.5 minutes long, so it's pretty long. But yeah, I do recommend it only for those categories. If you like anything else though, I don't really recommend it. The only reason you should really beat this level is for its status and its history, but other than that, you shouldn't beat it. Anyways, yeah, that's all I have to say about Artificial Ascent.
Get up and go goon.
You're gooning yourself right now!
Get up and go to the goon room!
Why did you sound like Baldy?
Jarvis, prepare the goon.
Get up and go to the bathroom! You're gooning yourself!
That smirk, every time I see that Iron Man smirk gif, I just convulse dying laughing.
You earned my long ruler.
What? What do you mean, let's go?
What?
I got so excited I farted.
Why?
Whoa! No, 86. Fuck. No. Are you kidding me? Dude.
What? What? Those have hitboxes?
Yes! 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 Oh my god, I fucking beat Artificial Ascent. Let's go. Yes! Oh my fucking god, dude. Don't play this shitty fucking level.
Anyways, yeah, that was Artificial Ascent. I tend to not like levels from around 2.0, and that's just because I don't enjoy the older gameplay style. I think the way they put choke points in the levels are just really bad compared to the way we do them nowadays, or even from early 2.1. But that being said, I still like levels from 1.9. It's just 2.0 specifically was this weird like phase where people were trying to build super hard levels. It's kind of just like now, where people were trying to build hard levels for the sake of building hard levels, and with that it came unfun gameplay and all that. Anyways, Artificial Ascent. Overall, I didn't really like it that much. Just the gameplay didn't flow together that well, in my opinion. When I say this, I should clarify that I don't mean like flow gameplay. I just mean that all the parts didn't really work together to make one solid level, which might be a controversial opinion, I don't know, but that's just what I think. Anyways, in terms of gameplay enjoyment, I gave Artificial Ascent a 3 out of 10. This is the combined factor of me being fairly unlucky with the level, on top of the fact that most of the parts that were difficult were towards the beginning of the level, which is something I don't really like. The second half was pretty good, and the good parts of the level, like Etzers or Loogiahs, they stood out amongst the others, which I really liked those parts. But unfortunately, the bad parts of the gameplay stuck out a lot more, specifically like Michigun, Anthrax, and some other parts in the middle. Those parts are just pretty bad. But yeah, the gameplay for Artificial Ascent isn't that great, in my opinion. I think that a lot of the parts could have just been a lot better, even for the time, because gameplay like things for Allegiance or Retention existed, and those levels are really good for 2.0. But yeah, overall, the gameplay, not that great, and mixed with my experience, it was just pretty bad. Anyways, in terms of decoration, I actually gave Artificial Ascent a 7.5. The decoration throughout Artificial Ascent is pretty good. I like the block designs and a lot of the backgrounds and stuff. I also like the background decoration, whatever. And I think that the colors of the level were pretty cool. It was pretty RGB, which is pretty fun. And this level, to today's standards, is still pretty decent. When I look at older levels, I tend to also look at how the decoration holds up today. And this level is one of the levels I think that the decoration actually does hold up pretty well today. I think that if glow was added to this, people would be all over it. I'm joking, by the way. Anyways, yeah, the decoration's pretty solid. I don't have any real complaints about it. It could have just been a bit better, which is obvious. Most decoration could be better. I would rarely ever give decoration a 10 out of 10. Anyways, yeah, overall, Artificial Ascent, the gameplay isn't that fun, and if you're unlucky, you're gonna have a horrible time, and the decoration's pretty solid. Anyways, other than that, that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching if you stuck around, and please make sure to subscribe and like the video. It does help out a lot. Anyways, yeah, that's all I have to say. Have a good day.